Welcome to the Unstoppable Pursuit podcast, where we're pushing the limits in business, life, and health. Today, it's episode 28, and we're talking about the right attitude towards success. It comes out of John C. Maxwell's Attitude 101. Check out the show notes. It be there. My name's Brian Benson, and next to me, well, he wears assless chaps to the gym. You know him as Michael Stull, ladies and gentlemen. He wrote a book called Dominate Your Day, and he's about to dominate your day right now from a reading from his book. Check it out at michaelstull.com. It is $29.99. $19.99.
Building the physique you want takes years and years of hard work and sacrifice. It doesn't happen overnight. Whether you are into general fitness or the extreme bodybuilding, it will be one of the greatest teachers you will ever have. Your success with achieving your fitness goals will be directly associated with the amount of dedication and consistency and sacrifice you display every single day. Your health should be a priority every day you wake up. I don't want you to lose it before you realize how important it is.
Man, that's, just you reading that, all those things that you just said about health is also applicable to life and business. And that's why we do business, life, and health. But that discipline and working toward that, that's so powerful.
In the quote, you'll like this at the bottom of it: commitment leads to action. Action, which Brian's a huge advocate of, action brings your dream closer.
Love it, man.
Talk all you want, but you better take action, people. Clear a path, people!
And be committed.
Yes.
I love the commitment, man. Once you make a commitment, follow through. So I'm going to read this little short excerpt from the book, and then Mike's going to go into, we're going to read the 4 points on the right attitude towards success, but we'll start with this. If success is a journey, how do you get started? What does it take to be successful? 2 things are required: the right attitude towards success and the right principles for getting there. Once you redefine success as a journey, which we'll talk about in the previous episode, so check that out, you can maintain the right attitude toward it. Then you're ready to start the process. The results may be as unique as each individual, but the process is the same for everyone. Here is my favorite definition of success, and I love this. This is coming from Maxwell. Success is knowing your purpose in life, growing to reach your maximum potential, and sowing seeds that benefit others.
I love that.
Yeah, that was good, man.
I love that. And the key point, like Brian mentioned, we just actually did episode 27 before this, is that success is a journey. So keep that in mind as we go over these 4 particular topics on growing your potential so that you can be successful and have the right attitude. So before we start on number 1, we have nearly limitless potential, yet too few ever try to reach it. Why? The answer lies in this: we can do anything, but we can't do everything. Many people let everyone around them decide their agenda in life. As a result, they never really dedicate themselves to their purpose in life. They become a jack of all trades, master of none, rather than a jack of few trades, focus on one. And that reminds me of what Brian said, because in 2017, Brian said rather than trying to please everyone that he crossed paths with, he needed to focus on his agenda and what he needs to get done. So reading that reminds me of what you said. That you can't say yes to everything and go to absolutely every single meeting and do everything you want to do in the year. You can't. You have to pick things out that are more important, that really focus on your agenda and what you're trying to accomplish.
I had to focus. Follow one course until success. We've said it before, but that's what it stands for.
Yep. So number 1, concentrate on one main goal. Nobody ever reached their potential by scattering themselves in 20 different directions. Reaching your potential requires focus, which is what you just said.
Which is what I just said.
And write that down. I like that. What does focus stand for?
Follow one course until success.
I think that, when I first started mine, I'm speaking personally for me, when I first started out in my journey, I felt like I was trying to do 25 different things at once. And there's some truth to that. You want to get out there and you want to build your brain, you want to network, and you want to reach people. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that's a requirement to building your brand, getting to know people, fostering relationships. But then there becomes a point in time where you need to start trimming the fat a little bit and start focusing in. Okay, I've built this influence in this whole circle, but I got to start picking out things that are really going to help me help others.
Exactly. No, I mean, you're so right. Like, if Michael Jordan or LeBron James focused in on something else besides basketball 24/7, would they be as successful as they are? Hell no.
That's very true.
Hell no.
I know.
You know, and I just want to like give you some praise right now, Mike, because you wrote a book. You committed, dedicated, had the discipline to do that. If you were not focused on that for those 3 years you put into putting together this amazing book, I mean, dude, you would never have a book. There's a lot of people that want to be authors and write books, but you know what? You took a lot of time and focus. You followed one course until success, and that is the product of it. And I just think that that's awesome.
And
man.
I can honestly say that at the beginning when I first started writing the book, I was doing a million different things.
Yeah.
I was. I was trying to do too much. But then I noticed that as time went on, that was like probably the first year, but like the second, going into the third year, especially the third year is when I really locked it down. Like even George was like, dude, you need to like sit down. Like I would go to Starbucks and he goes, you need to put your headphones on, dude, and just write. Don't do anything else. Just tell yourself that you're going to block out everything. So honestly, like the last half of writing this book, that was really all I was doing.
Yeah.
Like I realized, dude, if I'm going to get this book published, like I'm going to have to focus on one main goal, which was the book.
Yeah.
You know, so it's true. Now, is it where I want it to be? No. You know, but you know, that was a personal bucket list accomplishment thing for myself. So I appreciate you talking me up, Brian, because if I got to tell people how good I am, then I'm probably not that good. It's best for you to tell people how good I am.
I'll always tell people how good you are. I love it, man. All right, the next point is concentrate on continual improvement.
This one, you know, this one I like because for me, you know, being stagnant or being mediocre is just not even a part of my category. Or, you know, it's not a part of my character, I should say. Like, I am always striving for continual improvement. I always want to somehow be measuring where I'm at. And we talked about that in a previous segment. I think probably episode 26 is having, you know, tools to measure yourself and comparing yourself with yourself from the day before. Am I a little bit better than I was yesterday? If so, then good. Keep going. Like, you know, you have to continually improve. You can't stay stagnant. The world isn't going to stop for you, and people aren't going to stop for you.
Yeah.
You know, when I feel lazy or I'm feeling like, you know, I'm not making any improvement, I have to remind myself that there are other people out there that are hustling and making moves maybe with much less than what I currently have.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I totally agree. You know, life is a constant. We're always looking up through glass ceilings, and you have to consistently break through that. And I just want to, this is just interesting to me, but they asked a gentleman here, David D. Glass, he was the chairman of the executive committee of Walmart, board of directors, and when they asked him who he admired most, it was Sam Walton, the founder of Walmart. And he remarked, there's never been a day in his life since I've known him that he didn't improve in some way. Commitment to continual improvement is key to reaching your potential and to being successful. And I think that if we are constantly improving, there's no way we will not reach our, you know, we have to continuously learn and grow. The one thing that I have to say about this is key to reaching your full potential. I don't know if we'll ever reach our full potential as humans.
Same thing too.
Yeah.
I think the further we get into this podcast and we're really digging into a deeper level, like when I see, you know, the journey to success, that phrase, or the key to reaching your potential, I just don't know. Like the more and more we talk about stuff on this podcast, it mind blows me to the point where I'm like, I don't know, man. This is going to be a journey for life until the day I die, I guess. Because how do you know if you ever do reach your full potential? Is there a meter that goes off? I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if there's a way to measure your full potential, but that's where I think it goes back to the concept of success is the journey. It's a journey until you hit the grave.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. Because, and like you said, I mean, you won't even know the impact of your, you know, success and things that you've done on this earth until how many people show up at your funeral and say great things about you. That's the only thing you're going to leave here anyway. Who gives a shit about the rest of the stuff, you know? Yeah. I mean, this podcast will, I mean, it is mind-blowing that to me, like, if you cannot, there's no measurement for it. I don't know where I was. I have where I wanted to go with that, but it's just like it is. It
may come to you.
Well, no, I think the light bulb just went off for me, and that's what it is. Like, and I'm trying to like end it, but I keep thinking, wait, you can't, because there is no end. Like, you have to keep going.
I think it opened up your mind so much to the point where we're thinking so outside the box now of like how far, dude, that journey is. Like it mind blows you to think like of the journey, like there is no end.
Right.
It just keeps going. The potential is unlimited. I know it sounds corny, but I think that we're so accustomed to digging so deep into these topics now that I think to myself, when we think of potential, I'm like, dude, I wouldn't even know how to define potential. It's that abstract.
I know.
Now.
Well, that's I do. I think about like LeBron, and I think about like Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo and all the best players in the world. If you were to ask them, have you reached their full potential? They will never say they have. They have not. Like because I just don't. I think that they'll always say, no, I can improve my jump shot. No, I can improve my, move,
exactly.
That's what I mean. So that's the one thing that I just sort of tripped me out about that. Sorry, man. I didn't know, like, that got
I could
deep
tell
for
the
me.
light bulb was going off.
It was just like, holy crap.
I could tell it got you thinking. And that's the whole point of this podcast, though, is for you guys to open up your mind and realize that you're not where you can be.
Yeah.
And even where even if you do, when you get to where you want to be, there's probably still room for improvement.
Oh, 100%.
I guarantee people living down in Port Royal down here right now, if we went down and asked them, I probably could have done this or that. Dude, they're still sitting pretty.
I know.
But they probably are thinking, well, I probably could have did this, or I wish I would have done that. So
it's crazy.
Number 3. Forget the past. The past is a dead issue, and we can't gain any momentum moving toward tomorrow if we are dragging the past behind us. Now, this one I'm kind of guilty of, because sometimes I do think about my past, and it discourages me. You can't cleanse the mud from your feet if you keep going back and stepping back in the mud puddle. And I put that quote in my book too. And so for me, it's like, forget the past, yes, but also remember it at the same time, because there's probably a lot of obstacles that you overcome, that you have overcame in the past. And so that should be a reminder of, you know what, I'm capable of getting through this difficulty that's in front of me, because I've gotten through it before.
Yeah,
or something similar. You can even get into a faith thing on this too. Absolutely,
and kind of what you just said made me think, like, use the past as learning experiences, but don't stare in the rearview mirror walking forward. You don't drive like that. So learn from that traffic incident behind you happened, but you're now driving better because of that. So it's exactly what you said, just in a slightly different way. But I just wanted to say these names in here because it really is impactful. But these people have overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles, such as Booker T. Washington, Helen Keller, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Each of them overcame incredible odds to achieve great things. And remember, no matter what you faced in the past, you have the potential to overcome it. And I think that's really, really important. We all have the potential to do whatever we want. So.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I would say, forget the past, but at the same time, don't forget the times that you overcame adversity.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be a great reminder and a confidence builder in you, and to get through the difficulty that you're facing in front of you.
Yeah, these people definitely didn't forget what they've overcome to get there. And like you said, use as motivation and fuel to get you past that next thing that's going to happen.
Right, exactly.
All right, let's focus on the future. That's the next one. I like this one.
Do you want me to read it?
Oh, yeah. It's very good.
All right. Baseball Hall of Famer Yogi Berra declared, "The future isn't what it used to be. Although that may be true, it's still the only place we have to go. Your potential lies ahead of you, whether you're 18, 48, or 80. You still have room to improve yourself. You can become better tomorrow than you are today."
I know.
Why are you laughing?
Because we talked about that.
I know. We're kind of getting ahead of ourselves.
Well, it's just funny that we hadn't looked that forward into it, or maybe forgot that we already had read that. But I'm saying
it's a little ironic.
Oh my God! Even if we're 80 years old, you still can improve.
Right.
It definitely we kind of went through it, but it's just when you focus on the future and what you want to become, you realize that you have more ability than you ever have seriously known. And many people don't think that. I mean, a lot of people think when they get put into hard situations as they move into the future, maybe I can't do that, or I've had, here's a story. I just pitched my product in front of 35 professors at a university down here. And I have not been, in the past, I've been really nervous to public speak and to get up there. But if I were to always think about how terrible I used to be or the times that I screwed up, it wouldn't help me. No. I had to look into the future. I had to focus in on it, saying, this next one's going to be the best presentation that I've ever given in my entire life. And that's what I always think now is the next one's going to be even better and better and better. So you have to focus on how great the future is.
Right, and I think that kind of lends to the idea of visualization, which we talked about in a previous segment before, where I used to think visualization was kind of funny. And I said this story, and I'll repeat it again just for the sake of this segment, is that my basketball coach in high school, when he came in, he was a new coach, he would have us go into the locker room, he'd turn off all the lights, we would lay down. He's like, I want you to visualize yourself into the future of doing really good moves, making good passes, handling the ball, making a game winner, whatever. So at first I thought it was funny. We're kind of laying in the dark. I'm listening to see if people are laughing. It's kind of uncomfortable. But then as time went on, I got more and more comfortable with it and started thinking into the future of the next game. And I found myself doing a lot of the things that I was visualizing. And I thought, wow, man, I really took on to the idea of visualization. But before, I just thought it was kind of goofy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think seeing is believing. And even though it's visual, it's not it hasn't happened yet. When you see yourself doing those things, making that three-pointer, whatever you saw, it does become believable. Oh my God, I can do anything.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, if we want to take it even a step further, which, we don't talk about faith a lot on here, no matter what your religious preference is, but, focusing on the future and thinking positive things has a lot to do with your faith, too. Thinking that I do have God's favor. Mm-hmm. Romans 8:28, which is on my back, God's working everything together for the good for those that believe. So I'm focusing on the future. I have His favor. Things are going to work out to my benefit for the greater good. I am going to do amazing things. So that you could take it into a faith thing. The one thing I want to read too is the quote, is the only true measure of success is the ratio between what we might have been and what we have become. In other words, success comes as a result of growing to our potential. Now again, going to that whole potential thing, I think that's kind of an unlimited thing, but I like that, the measure of success, because again, I don't know. I'm almost still trying to find my definition of success.
Yeah.
The best thing I can come up with is what we've talked about is the journey, that's made up of, the struggles, the triumphs and whatnot. But, measuring success, the ratio between what we might have been and what we have become, that's where we are, number 2, concentrating on continual improvement. You are successful, technically, if you started here, and now you're over here. You're trying to move forward. You're advancing. You're investing in yourself. You're reading. You're trying to make moves. If you're not being a lazy ass and you're actually trying to take action, then I would consider that a part of success.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Of where you were to where you are now.
Yeah, and think of that. Did I mention to you that John Wooden quote? Did I talk about that on the last one? Maybe I did.
Making love to your soldiers?
Yeah. No. About failure.
Yeah.
Failure. What is failure? Failure is knowing that you didn't do the best that you could do. So only you are the one that knows that you failed. And I think that was really important. And just on a short side story about this, full potential and the success, I interviewed this girl, and I consider her successful. She started a cool company, and she had just finished getting her MBA. And I said, what do you, how have you become so successful, something like that? And she said, well, to be honest with you, I can't say that I've been really successful, because my definition of success is totally different. I'm 30 years old just getting my MBA. There's a lot of people who have done this when they're 24 or 25. she's like, so I don't really look at success as like what, you can't, it's not an all-encompassing thing. I look at success only to myself. What have I done, and have I done my best every single day? I was like, oh, that's really interesting, because I'm sitting there going, you're so successful, but she didn't look at it that way. Like, she didn't say, like, don't put me in with all these other people because my definition's different than your definition, than your definition, than your definition. So it doesn't matter, success is all within,
Yeah, success, after you telling that story, success really is a personal thing.
Yeah,
it's a personal,
100%.
Nobody, Brian's famous line, nobody can define success for you. So, and that's very true. It's such a personal thing. Find out what success means to you.
Yeah.
And don't let what you see other people doing or what they have or whatever define what it is. You figure it out for yourself on your personal journey, the unstoppable pursuit that you are on.
Yes, 100%.
All right.
Drop the mic. He killed it.
All right,
we're going to get into the challenge. And the challenge, really quick, is to focus on one goal. Follow one course until success on one goal. So cut the fat out of your life. I've had to do that this year. Mike's had to do that. Yeah, chop it out, baby. Cut it out. Stop doing it. Do the one thing. Actually, that's a great book. It's called The One Thing, and that means you should just focus in on that one thing that is going to take you above and beyond. So don't try to be a jack of all trades, because you'll be a jack of all none trades. I don't know what that even means, but that's what that's what it said. It's just focus on one goal. That's the most important thing. Don't try to do a million things. Don't be a yes man or a yes woman. Just do what you need to do and get that one thing going. Let's get in that health tip, baby.
The health tip, and before we did this segment, I asked Brian, I go, Brian, what do you want to know about health? He goes, why don't you talk to people about never skipping leg day? So, and it's true, please. Never skip leg day. We all know that person that goes into the gym, that they're doing all upper body exercises, the curls for the girls.
Oh.
They're doing the bench press and all that stuff. Now, scientifically, if you were to not be able to lift upper body, there is research out there that shows that if you were to still do like squats and heavy weightlifting movements for the big muscle groups of your lower body, you could still maintain some of the strength in your upper body. I've read some studies on that. So, but again, also you want to be symmetrical. My brother is famous for saying this all the time. When we were in Ohio weightlifting, it used to bother him. He would say that guys that had big upper body and small legs, he would say they have anacondas up north, gardener snakes down south. You don't want that. You look goofy when you have really skinny legs, okay? So please, balance yourself out. Work your body symmetrically, hitting all the major muscle groups so that you are functioning at your best. You don't have any weak muscle groups. You'll have a weak muscle. Everyone has a weak muscle group, but strive for balance on your body for health purposes and also visually, because you look like an idiot when you have skinny legs at the beach.
I have a weak muscle, and that's my pinky toe. The rest of me is pretty toned. But I'm going to ask you another quick question on this health tip, because I'm interested, and that's why I said legs. One was, I have heard, and maybe you could debunk this or not, I heard a lot of your testosterone for males comes from working out your legs, because big leg muscle. Can that build testosterone, or was that a myth, or I don't know?
Brian, digging deep. Brian, are you trying to raise your testosterone levels? Age 30,
Hold on, let me do squats really quick.
No, actually, there is some truth to that. There is research that shows, that's hard to say, that when you are lifting bigger muscle groups, okay, like squats, for example, you're using the biggest, strongest muscle group on the body, which is the glutes. You do have a nice hormonal release from doing that. So there's definitely benefits to that. Just weightlifting in general will boost some testosterone levels. But again, when you're lifting, especially doing the legs is a good topic, because like doing squats, you're going to have a nice hormonal release, and possibly a little bit of a boost in testosterone from doing so. So yeah, there's some truth to that.
Cool. No, and I enjoyed the fact that when you do legs, because I do legs, I do not like to skip legs, it does keep your whole body, it's like a whole core, it almost like engages your entire core when you do legs, which is really great.
Yeah.
I think it's just such an important muscle, but you see those guys with gardener snakes walking around that gym, and it's just like...
There's too many memes on Instagram of like big upper body, small little body. But yeah, I mean, funny. People say squats are bad for your health. You're probably not doing them right if you say that. The squat, the deadlift is such a beneficial group of exercises for your entire body. Huge hormonal release, working major muscle groups. You're going to have a nice hormonal release, and you're going to burn more calories because you're working such a big metabolic muscle that has the ability to help burn fat. Cool. And increase the metabolism. I
love it. I love it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. This was episode 28. Check out Attitude 101 by John C. Maxwell. We appreciate you, Facebook Live, IG Live. We love you guys, podcasters, YouTubers. We thank you so much, and we will see you all on the next episode.